The second is this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. Mark 12, verse 31.
Hey fam bam, it's me, just Londa, and I just want to drop by because I did see the video of Jason, I know I'm going to pronounce his last name wrong, I think it's Aldean, small town video. I also heard some of the remarks of the ladies on view.
Listen, you know, there are lyrics in the song, and I think, you know, he talks about life in a small town, and it's different, you know, and he shows these images. He's got folks from the Black Lives Matter movement, and he's talking about people taking care of each other. And I find it so interesting that it never occurred to Jason or the writers that that's what these folks were doing. They were taking care of the people in their town because they didn't like what they saw. Just like you talk about people taking care of each other in small towns. We do the same thing in big towns.
Now, I didn't come from a small town, but it was about, in the 90s, it was about 5,000 people there. In the 200s, about 5,000 people there. Now, because everyone knows that the place in South Carolina where I grew up, it's booming. It's booming. And every time I go there, it's changed a lot. So it's getting bigger. So I watched the video and I heard the remarks that the ladies on The View were talking about. In my belief, you have to watch the video to understand the content, because it could be taken as racism. In the video, he shows a lot of riots and things like that, and stuff not being peaceful. People stealing, people looting, people burning the American flag. It's troubling how the society acts and reacts on things. When I lived in Cali, my daughter and I went to the store, and lo and behold, there was a protest march. And if I have it, I'll leave it up.
Yes.
Black lives they matter here. 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 Black lives they matter.
When George Floyd had passed because of the cop incident, to have a protest or a march in regarding to what has happened, you're gonna have your fellow Afro person lay on the ground and you get on top of him or them, because I don't recall, I was too far back to see, and that pissed me off. That pissed me off because you're doing pretty much the same thing. Like, they had the person hands behind their back and then they kneel down on top of them. Well, what kind of message, pardon me, are you sending? I feel like it's really stupid when people are looting and rioting and burning down buildings when you have to live there or you have to shop there. If you loot or you burn down these buildings, where are you going to eat at? So in that aspect, with me watching the video, yeah, try it in a small town, because that's not gonna happen. Like the looting and stuff like that, they do take care of their own. If you saw in the video where the farmer needed to get rid of, I believe it was milk or something like that, and people came to get it because he had to get rid of it. I live in Georgia, not far from Macon. I love living here. I love it. I'm not here now, but I love living there. I love it. It's a lot of us, if you know what I'm saying. You can feel the as my Zumba people be like, oh, when you get up on stage, I can feel the culture. I can feel the culture. They do help out one another when it's time to help out one another. Sometimes you're gonna come across the wrong people, and that's everywhere you go. That's everywhere you go. Small town, big town, little town, school, overseas, villages. My UK people that are black, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm speaking about. You're gonna see that everywhere you go, because it's gonna always be some type of diversity, unfortunately. I don't think that song was intended to be racial, but I can see how it came off if you're not watching the video, because you have to put two and two together. If you listen to the lyrics, it sounds like, yeah, it's gonna be like some type of a mobster coming to get you. You need to be ready. We've all said that in anyone's community. Like, you need to be ready. Like, if they're gonna come for you, you need to be ready. You need to be ready. What's the difference of him putting it in a song? Like, they're gonna come for you. They're gonna come for you. Be ready. Same thing. So I didn't take it as racism. I look at it as people that need to band together as one. And if they come in your town, take care of your peoples. If your neighbor needs you, take care of your peoples. It says so in the Bible. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. What happened? He's just saying they take care of their own. They take care of their people. I can't believe that I was deciding to weigh in on it. God must have put that on me for me to do it, because I used to live in the city, in Jersey, and then I moved to South Carolina, where everyone knew just about everyone. And it was such a big dynamic. My mom she grew up in a small town. My father, he grew up in a small town. They don't talk about it much because when it was time for them to go, they do still went to Jersey, both of them. So they don't talk about it. So I know small town, and I go to my mom's birthplace all the time in North Carolina. Now that's a small town. It has 2 stoplights. Now, okay, now it has 2 stoplights. I never came across racism in the hometown that I lived in, nor in the hometown my mom lived in, nor when I go visit my father's hometown, and I visit that every so often. I don't go. So I don't think it was racism. I don't think that was the intent. You need to watch the video to get clarity. He's saying the same thing that I tell y'all, like, y'all need to take care. Like the Bible tells us that we need to take care of our neighbors. get it clear. Get it clear. I'm not gonna be long because I'm on vacation and I've been sleeping. But that came up and I wanted to drop this and you'll let me know. I don't see anything wrong with it. I'll pull up some of the lyrics so you can read it. If y'all saw the view, I only saw some of it. I didn't see a lot because I don't want them, you know what I'm saying? But I just saw some. But I didn't catch those vibes of racism, especially me watching the video and listening to the lyrics and reading the lyrics at the same time. So on that note, fam bam, weigh in. Let me know what you think. Peace and peace. Bye.